So you probably heard the word credit card in your life. You've never really known what that is. Today I'm gonna explain exactly, step by step, what a credit card is, how credit cards work, and lastly, how to benefit from credit cards. Okay, so now I wanna explain to you in 4 main points what a credit card is. Point number 1, you are borrowing money. This is not your own money. This is money that you're borrowing from the bank, which means that every time you swipe your card, the balance in your bank account is going to stay the same, but you are still borrowing that money that you've just spent. Number 2, there's a credit limit. A credit limit, simply put, is an amount of money that you can borrow from the bank. They will give you a limit. Obviously, they're not going to give you an infinite amount, so they need to give you a cap on how much money you can physically borrow. Point number 3, you need to pay it back. And this is a fundamental point that we're gonna go over later a little more, which is even though you borrow this money, the money is not free. You need to pay this money back. So it's very, very important and fundamental that you always pay your credit card on time and that you have the money in the bank account to pay for your credit card. And you're not just overspending and spending more money than what you actually have. Point number 4, this is different from a debit card. On a debit card, the cap that you can spend is what you have in your bank. So every time you swipe your card, money goes out of the card, and so once you hit 0, that's it, the money is finished. On a credit card, you might have a $1,000 credit limit. You can swipe until the $1,000 credit limit's done. And in your bank account, you might have $200. So it's very important that you understand that this is not a debit card. It is very different from a debit card, and it offers many rewards though compared to a debit card. And now we're going to go over them. Okay, so now I'm going to go over the 4 main points on how a credit card works. Point number 1, making a purchase. You go out for groceries, you spend $100, you swipe your card, the bank immediately pays for you. The money is not flowing out of your bank account, the money is flowing from your credit card. Step number 2, the bank tracks every single cent that you spend. This is no different from a debit card spending wise. You will spend exactly the same amount, but you will have a bill every month instead of just having a charge on your account every time you use the card. Number 3, the monthly statements. The monthly statements is your bill basically every month of how much you need to pay in credit card bills. So what does that mean? You spent last month $400. When the statement ends, you will get a statement which tracks every single purchase that you've made in that month, and it tells you totally how much you've spent that month. And it tells you the forms of payment that you have. There's gonna be 3 main forms of payment. There's gonna be the minimum payment, there's gonna be the statement balance, and there's gonna be the full balance. So now let's go on payment options. There's only 2 ways to pay a credit card. The right way, which is always pay your full balance. You need to always pay the full balance. You should never pay anything else. And then there's the wrong way, highlighted in red. Pay minimum payment only, which means that you just pay the minimum amount that your credit card requires. But that incurs into a very big problem, which is interest. And it's something that you want to stay very far from because it can increase your payment bills drastically if you don't pay your full balance. If you pay your full balance, you're never going to incur any interest. If you pay your minimum payment, you will incur an interest, and you will incur in a lot of interest, and you do not want to do that. But let's go over this little chart that I've made to better understand how this works. So you use your card, right, as we said, the bank pays for you, then your balance bills throughout the month, throughout the statement, then you get a bill at the end of the statement. You pay the bill in full. I've highlighted in full. That is very important. And then you just repeat the process. That is how it works. Very simple thing to use a credit card, but you need to use it smartly. Now, let's go the 3rd point, which is the common mistakes of credit card users. Okay, so now we're gonna go over the 5 main points of the most common mistakes beginners do of using a credit card. Point number 1, and we've went over this just right now, only paying the minimum payment. And this is connected with point number 5. I'm gonna explain these 2 together actually. If you only pay the minimum payment, you're gonna start incurring into something called interest. Interest is basically a multiplier of money that you will need to pay back to the bank. So we understood that you're borrowing money from the bank every time you're using the credit card, right? And you can borrow more money than what you actually have in your bank account. And that means that when you start borrowing more money than what you have and you can't pay it back, that money that you still need to pay back incurs into something called interest, because you've held on to that money for too long now. Step number 2, maxing out your card. This is another problem. When you get a credit limit, you should be only using about 10 to 30% of your credit limit. So if you get $1,000 credit limit, you should be only using $100 to $300 a month on your credit card. First of all, you need to make sure you have the money. That's the most important. But second of all, maxing out your card hurts your revolving utilization, which means how much money you borrow from the bank each month. And if you borrow a lot of money from the bank, it is a high risk to lenders to give you more money. Number 3, missing payments. And this is a very important one. You should not be missing any payment at all. So this is quite connected to number 1 as well. Paying the minimum payment is fundamental to not miss a payment. If you pay the minimum payment, you will never miss a payment, but you will still incur an interest, but you should never ever miss a payment in your credit card history, ever. Number 4, treating it like it's free money. And I see this mistake happening with so many people. And please don't do this. Again, it is not free money. This is money that you need to pay back in 30 days at the bank. So in your bank account, you need to have that physical money present. You should be only spending the amount of money that you have in your bank account, not a single cent more. Now let's go to the 4th part, which is how to use a credit card responsibly. Okay, now I'm gonna talk about the last part, which is how to use a credit card responsibly and how to boost your credit score. So right here, I'll put a little diagram of how much each part of the credit score weighs. Let's start from right there. Always pay your full balance. As I said, and I'll repeat again and again, you always need to pay your full balance. It's very important. Number 2, you never need to miss a payment ever. Number 3, you need to keep your usage low, preferably under 30%. And number 4, only spend money that you have, and this is important. And now let's go to the diagram over here. And this is what represents your FICO score, which is your credit score, and all the different categories. Let's start from the biggest one, which is 35%, the red one, payment history. Payment history tracks if you've made your payments on time in your history. That's it. Paying on time is the most important thing that you need to do with your credit. So payment history sums up to 35% of your score. So you should never ever miss a payment. Then let's go to 30%, which is credit utilization, or also called amounts owed, which means how much you owe on your credit card. If your credit utilization is 100% or 80% of your credit limit, that is a risk to lenders, and they do not want to see that. So you should be using 30%, preferably less than 30% every month, to show that you know how much you're spending and that you are a spender that knows what he's doing. All right, and just those 2 are 65% of your credit score. Now let's go to the smaller categories. I'm going to start with a bigger one over here, which is 15%, and it's length of credit history. Your length of credit history is something that unfortunately there is no way of going through it. You just gotta wait. That's it. You should never close your first credit card account, and especially with your first credit card account, I always suggest to not get a annual fee credit card. Just get a free credit card. We'll need to always keep that credit card open for the rest of your life, because that increases the age of your credit. So this part right here, that 15%, the length of your credit history is going to go up over time. And it's not only the length of your first credit card account, it's also the average length of your credit cards account. And then, as I said, new credit, try to apply for credit cards or loans every 6, but preferably 12 months. So don't only apply for a credit card once a year, more or less. Try to keep it at that. And the last one is credit mix. And credit mix is simply how many different types of credits you have. And this could be revolving accounts, which are credit cards, or this could be loans, a home loan, an auto loan, those type of stuff. That is still considered in your credit. You're just starting out, that's not a problem. If you have one credit card, you should not be rushing. Over time, you should be getting more credit cards to boost your credit score even more. Guys, This is the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked the video, follow and subscribe to the channel. More videos coming out. And also, please remember the few tips that I gave you here, and I want to go over a few of them right now. Remember to never miss a payment, and remember, use your credit card responsibly. Don't be spending more money than what you have. If you have any more questions about credit cards, put them in the comments down below, and more credit card videos are coming out. Thanks for watching, and as always, peace.